Did you know that the word dinosaur was created by combining the Greek words deinos, which means terrible, and sauros, which means lizard? Soft dinosaur tissue has now been recovered from several dinosaurs, 3 tyrannosaurs, T-Rex, and 1 hadrosaur. It is ridiculous to believe that soft tissue can be preserved for more than 60 million years, but it could be preserved for 5,000 years. The Book of Job is one of the oldest books ever written. In it, God tells of his greatness as creator and describes an animal, called Behemoth, as follows. Behold now, Behemoth, which I made as well as you, he eats grass like an ox. Behold now, his strength in his loins, and his power in the muscles of his belly. He bends his tail like a cedar, the sinews of his thighs are knit together. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs are like bars of iron. Job 40:15-18. Marginal notes in many Bibles speculate that Behemoth was probably an elephant or a hippopotamus, but most animals have tails like ropes. Behemoth had a tail like a cedar. Any animal with a tail as huge and strong as a cedar tree is probably a dinosaur. Also, Job 40:19-24 says this giant, difficult to capture animal was not alarmed by a raging river. If the writer of Job knew of a dinosaur, then the evolution position is wrong, and man saw dinosaurs. The next chapter of Job describes another huge, fierce animal, a sea monster named Leviathan. It was not a whale or crocodile, because the Hebrew language had other words to describe such animals. Leviathan may be a plesiosaur, a large seagoing reptile that evolutionists say became extinct 60 million years before man evolved. For the past 3 centuries, reports have come from the Congo in Western Africa that dinosaurs exist in remote swamps. These eyewitness stories are often from educated people who can quickly describe dinosaurs. 2 expeditions to the Congo, led by biologist Dr. Roy Mackle of the University of Chicago, never saw dinosaurs, but interviewed many of these witnesses and concluded that their reports were about dinosaurs and were apparently true. If any of these accounts are correct, man and dinosaurs were contemporaries. Consider the many dragon legends. Most ancient cultures have stories or artwork of dragons that strongly resemble dinosaurs. The World Book Encyclopedia states that the dragons of legend are strangely like actual creatures that have lived in the past. They are much like the great reptiles, dinosaurs, which inhabited the earth long before man is supposed to have appeared on earth. Dragons were generally evil and destructive. Every country has them in its mythology. The simplest and most obvious explanation for so many common descriptions of dragons from around the world is that man once knew the dinosaurs. What caused the extinction of dinosaurs? Primarily, the flood. Because dinosaur bones are found among other fossils, dinosaurs must have been living when the flood began. Dozens of other dinosaur extinction theories exist, but all have recognized problems. Most of the food chain was buried in the flood. Therefore, many large dinosaurs that survived the flood probably had difficulty feeding themselves and became extinct. One of the least acknowledged dinosaur mysteries is the discovery of their fossils and bones inside the Arctic Circle and in Antarctica, places where they shouldn't have been able to live. That mystery is solved when one understands why the Earth slowly rolled 34 degrees 57 degrees after the flood. Were dinosaurs on the Ark? Yes. God told Noah to put representatives of every kind of land animal on the Ark. Some dinosaurs were semi-aquatic and could have survived outside the Ark. But why put adult dinosaurs on the Ark? Young dinosaurs would take up less room, eat less, and be easier to manage. Animals were on board so they could reproduce after the flood and repopulate the Earth. Young dinosaurs would have more potential for reproduction than old dinosaurs. Bones of certain dinosaurs show annual growth rings, as trees do. Those dinosaurs, early in life and late in life, grew very slowly. During midlife, they had large growth spurts. Therefore, their juveniles, during the year they were on the Ark, probably weighed less than 60 pounds. A 2-year-old T-Rex weighed 66 pounds. The largest known T-Rex lived to the age of 28 years. Dinosaurs did not become large because they lived long lives.
Any similarity to actual persons and events is coincidental.
Scanning. I am detecting something big. On land. Some kind of terrible lizards. Some of them are tall as a 5-story building, but many of them are small, about the size of a chicken. Fascinating. Most evolutionists now say that birds are terrible lizards. But then again, evolutionists believe that they come from a rock. Interesting. I am detecting more than 2,000 footprints of terrible lizards alongside tracks resembling human footprints. Fascinating. Some of the footprints are made in mud, some in sand. Extremely interesting. If some are human footprints, then man and those terrible lizards lived at the same time. Interesting. I am detecting similar mixed footprints everywhere. Were it not for the evolution religion, few would doubt that these were human footprints. Yes, it is very sad that religious sects like evolution sect can destroy the rational thinking of so many in such a degree that even become actual hindrance to real science at this point. But, back to the subject. The bones of certain terrible lizards show annual growth rings, as trees do. Those terrible lizards, early in life and late in life, grew very slowly. During midlife, they had large growth spurts. Therefore, their juveniles probably weighed less than 60 pounds. A 2-year-old T-Rex weighed 66 pounds. The largest I can detect, he is no longer alive, lived to the age of 28 years. Those terrible lizards did not become large because they lived long lives. I will continue observing them for a while. Then I'm going back to the escape pod. Lieutenant Commander Wamuel Silber-Force, out.